Now, Hollywood is celebrating the return of sold-out cinemas after Tom Cruise's new film, Top Gun Maverick, blasted to the top of the box office charts.
Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking.
The long-awaited sequel to the star's 1986 action hit earned more than $150 million in its first 4 days in US theatres. That's a box office record for the Memorial Day holiday weekend. The film's release was delayed by almost 2 years because of the coronavirus pandemic. Let's get more on this now. From Washington, D.C., we're joined by Jawn. He's a TV presenter and pop culture expert. Jawn, good to have you back with us. So listen, Top Gun Maverick has been a huge hit with moviegoers and the critics. It's given Tom Cruise his first $100 million opening weekend. You went to the premiere. Why do you think it's been so successful?
Well, Darren, the critics say it best. They're calling this the perfect action-adventure film. And I have to tell you, I liked it so much, I dressed up for the occasion. I got my own bomber jacket on for you. This movie was electrifying. It was invigorating. It's visually stunning. At times, you feel like you're in the plane with Tom Cruise. You want to get in a fighter jet yourself. This movie's completely captivating. There were people next to me crying. You laugh. The story is so great with this sequel. And like you mentioned, we waited 36 years for it. And I can tell you this. Even if you haven't seen the original, you can enjoy this film. This one was worth the wait, and it may even be better than the original.
Jawn, it's a thumbs up from me on your flight jacket. Now, listen, Maverick also had the fourth biggest opening for any film in the COVID era. What's this telling us about how the pandemic affected moviegoers? I mean, are people now ready to go back to the cinema, do you think?
Well, I have to tell you, this was my first time in the theater since COVID myself. And I felt safe. I wore my mask in the movie theater, and people are looking for good entertainment. But this is what happened with Top Gun Maverick. They had a great story, an excellent marketing campaign, and people were intrigued by these fresh faces. Listen, Tom Cruise is back. You've got Val Kilmer back, but there's some great new characters by Jennifer Connelly and Ed Harris, Charles Parnell and John Hamm. But the fresh faces are invigorating the millennial and Gen Z fans of moviegoing. So you got Jay Ellis and Miles Teller, Bashir Sanahan, but there's a fresh face named Greg Tarzan Davis that is going to be a Hollywood one to watch. And all of those elements together made people buy these tickets and go to the theater.
And Jawn, movie critics have described the film as absurdly exciting. I mean, you're very excited by it, and the best studio action film in years. But a lot of it surely is down to Tom Cruise himself. I mean, even at 59, he's still a huge Hollywood draw card, isn't he?
Absolutely. This movie reminds you why Tom Cruise is one of the biggest box office stars in the world. He is a man who likes to do his own stunts. But in addition to this being a great film, there's a great song here. Lady Gaga's Hold My Hand will be an Oscar contender for sure next year for Best Song. Listen, there's a reason why folks are enjoying this film and they're raving about it. I tell everybody, go see Top Gun Maverick.
Jawn, just a final funny thought to you. Top Gun 2, as you say, was released 36 years after the first Top Gun. So by my calculation, Tom Cruise will be 95 years old when Top Gun 3 comes out. I mean, do you think Maverick will still be able to turn and burn and break box office records in his 90s?
Listen, if they give him a good story, he'll probably still want to do his own stunts. I just don't want Hollywood to get too crazy with the reboots because, we're in a copycat business. They'll be pulling out movies that don't have good stories and finding other people to try to mimic this. No, let Tom do what he does, and he'll keep having success.
Jawn Murray, really good to get your thoughts. Thanks very much indeed.
My pleasure.